Hi, I'm Deborah from Kitchen Sense and Information. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my kitchen lab, where we are going to look at different ways to test your face mask to see how effective it is at preventing air movement from your mouth. So the first test we're going to do was made famous by Bill Nye the Science Guy. He put it on TikTok, and it's to see if you can blow out a candle. Now this method is not 100% foolproof because it's going to tell you if air is able to pass through the mask, but it's not really going to tell you if very small droplets like a virus couldn't still be exiting through the mask. Coronavirus COVID-19 is 120 nanometers, which means it would take 10,000 of that virus to fit on the head of a pin. So it's pretty small. So the test is not really going to tell you if it will stop all viral particles from leaving your mouth if you did have COVID-19 or coronavirus, but it will give you an indication of how good the mask is at just kind of stopping generally or reducing the airflow and the velocity of the airflow. The goal is that you cannot blow the flame out. By the way, these are brand new. They haven't been worn before. I'm trying to make sure I get a tight fit around the nose because that's important. And pull it down under the chin and up over the nose. Okay, here we go. So you should be, pretty close to the candle, but not like right on top of it. Okay, I'm blowing as hard as I can. One more. I'm close. I'm blowing as hard as I can, and the flame is barely moving. For the candle test, this surgical mask passes muster that I bought in the grocery store not too long ago. They were not expensive, which leads me to wonder if this mask is going to be the same quality or not. We will see. And it was not sold as a surgical mask. It was just sold as a disposable face mask. So let's see what happens. Make sure I get a tight fit. Okay, I'll go a little bit further away. Okay, so this one's pretty good too. One more try. But the same distance, I got really close to the candle with this, the real surgical mask, and the candle flame did not move. With this one, when I got close, the candle flame moved. So this mask is not as effective as a surgical mask. That doesn't mean it's not good. Okay, another one closer. All right, well, it's looking like this one is pretty good too. The outer material, actually this one I should tell you. So this one, the outer material is a cotton poly blend, but inside here, the pocket for the filter, if you wanted to add a filter, it's 100% cotton. It's 2 layers. So actually this is a 3-layer mask because I doubled up the fabric here because it was kind of thin. This one is a 2-layer mask. The outside is poly cotton and the inside is 100% cotton, and there is no filter pocket with this mask. Well, the flame moves a little bit, but I can't really move it that much either. So it looks like, in terms of preventing and slowing down airflow from your mouth, all of these masks are good, and actually the least good was this one, which is the cheap one that I bought in the grocery store. There, hey, the candle went out, but of course I wasn't wearing a mask. I'm being silly. A disposable mask that's manufactured like these two is supposed to have a little bit of a waterproof coating on the outside so that the moisture in any water droplets or air coming from someone else don't penetrate through. So let's see what happens when I drop water. And I don't know if you can see, the water is beading. It's not soaking in. That's what's supposed to happen. The water is also beading. So that's a good sign. So both of these passed the water test for the outside. Now on the inside, you do want a layer that is water absorbent so that it absorbs the moisture and the droplets coming from your mouth. Let's see what happens. It's beading a bit, but it is slow soaking in. This one, what happens here? This one, it's mostly beading. So this one actually is better because it's absorbing the water a little bit, while this one is not. This is the light test, and it's very hard to do on camera. What you want to do is you want to take your mask and you want to put it over, I'm going to stretch it out, a strong light source like a flashlight, and then you want to see if you can see the fibers, if you can see holes between the fibers. That one I can. This is not a surgical mask, this is just a disposable face mask. This, however, is a surgical mask. Let's see what we have. I can't really see the holes between the fibers. So there we have it. The surgical face mask is definitely a tighter weave or thicker material than the non-surgical, just disposable face mask. This is a cloth mask I made. It's 2 layers. Outer layer poly cotton, inner layer cotton, and I can see the holes between the weave of the outer layer, poly cotton. I can also see holes between the cotton layer a little bit. This is a 2-layer mask. Another face mask I made, once again outside poly cotton, inside cotton, but it's a 3-layer mask. And the outer poly cotton layer is a much tighter weave. I can't see holes between. I can see a little bit of holes between the inner cotton layer. This is the medical surgical face mask, which I bought before the pandemic. Now I'm leaving them for the medical professionals. And one thing you can do is you can open up the layers. There's 3 layers. So here you have your kind of waterproof layer. It's quite thin. Then inside you have another layer that's quite thick, and I really can't see through it very well. And then a thin inner layer that I can see through. But still the layers are fairly thick. So this is the non-medical disposable face mask. So here we go. We've got this layer, the outer layer. It's fairly close medical surgical mask in terms of thickness and weave. Here's the inner layer also. Okay, the inner layer on the non-medical disposable mask is definitely thinner. I can really feel with my fingers it's a lot thinner. I can also see that there's more light coming through the shadow from my fingers. I see my fingers better. So definitely this one, the non-medical disposable mask, has a thinner inner layer. Now let's get to the layer that would go against the face. And yes, the holes also in this non-medical disposable mask, the holes are bigger than in the surgical mask. Which is what I expected, because when we did the candle test, we found out that this non-medical disposable mask, I could make the candle waver quite a bit when I was close, but with the surgical medical mask, I could not. So that's exactly what I expected. The masks, they're not supposed to be completely flammable, right? So you don't really want to see them burning. Okay, now let's look at this one. Okay, they're pretty similar. They're not really burning. They're just kind of melting like they're supposed to. And then there are 3 more tips from medical experts, and this is from an article put out by npr.org. Thick woven fabric. The thicker the fabric and the tighter the weave, the more effective that fabric will be at preventing aerosols leaving your mouth. And if you can see the individual fibers and the spaces between the fibers, then your fabric is nowhere near thick enough. And if you can stretch it, then that's not ideal either, because when fabric stretches, what happens? It opens up the separations between the fibers, which means the holes get larger and it's easier for the virus to pass through the holes. Make your mask multi-layer, 2 or 3 layers or 4. The more layers you add, the more effective the mask will be, but the more layers you add, the harder it is to breathe. Especially with fabric masks, they can be quite hot. One reason why some people prefer surgical masks, they may be a bit more comfortable, but we need to keep the supply of real surgical masks for the medical personnel that need to wear them. You know, this guy, very inexpensive in the grocery store. It's still doing a good job. I couldn't blow out the candle. I don't really see the weave. And this would not pass muster for a medical facility, so it's okay for me to have that one for use at home. If you have a mask with a pocket like this one, so that you can insert a filter, piece of paper towel, and then finally, it's really important to have the snug fit. Whether you get that because you've got metal here that you can push down, the mask fits properly, or you can put a piece of pantyhose over your mask and that will hold it to your face. You can get double stick tape that is made to go on the skin and against fabric. So this is the newest research on face masks, and as we enter into the second wave, and if you look at the video I just did on that, you'll see that the wearing of face masks is going to continue for a while indoors, especially as we head into winter, flu and cold season here in the northern hemisphere at least. Now you've got these suggestions on how to test your mask and how to wear it, how to fit it, how to make it as effective as possible. Stay well, stay safe. Thanks for listening. If you found this content useful, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!